Hello, hello, hello. um, it's been a couple weeks, so I apologize for that. My name's Tashawn, and I go by Nine Coins on YouTube. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I went on a fun vacation and came back a little sick, a little sicky wicky. And so the video that I had planned to do that traces my vacation and how I use tarot on my vacation, that will have to wait because I need to be face on camera for that, and I am just not. I am just not feeling that right now. I'm snotty. My note, like it's gross. But I thought I would share something that I received um, while I was away on vacation, and that is the Black Power Tarot. This is a collaboration from a few years ago, so it's a new to me deck from uh, musician artist King Khan, American music artist King Khan, and illustrator Michael Eaton. And so this is the fifth edition printing, according to the source of where I got it from. I did purchase this on Etsy, so I can link this down below. And I just thought I'd do just a brief kind of walk through or flip through, maybe, of the deck. This is just major arcana. And so, and it's in the Marseille style. And so I believe the creators consulted Alejandro Jodorowsky, which is a notable um, tarotologist. What is someone who studies tarot? Well, anyway, tarot reader, tarot studier, tarot. Uh, uh, oh gosh, I guess they say tarot master on the Etsy page. I was like, okay, that's a bit wow. Okay, um, but if you study Marseille, you are familiar with Alejandro Jodorowsky's work and text in the tarot. Um, and so just thought I'd give this a walkthrough, and I think it's very special. And yeah, so let's go. So yes, like I said, this is the fifth edition printing, so they changed some things from the from the first time it was printed. The cover was snakeskin, but it was more like a black brownish kind of natural snakeskin print. But now they've changed it to it's a two-part box. To the black, red, and green, which are colors that are associated with Pan Africanism. And then you'll see here um, that they have changed the backs as well. So it used to be, this is a traditional, I guess, Marseille print. The colors were in the first few printings were more of a natural style, natural like tans and whites in the backs of this print. And they had since changed this to black, red, and green as well. I'm going to save that card for last. Um, and so, yeah, so here we go. Oh, also apologize for the lighting. I am filming in the morning. So the sun is going to be coming in and out. So I apologize. So, yeah, this is really cool. So, this is before I just jump in, I know I talk too much. I'm sorry. But I have been looking for, okay. I love. Uh, I am a black girl who who loves classic style decks. Like I love decks, like decks in the old style, classic tradition. So, which is why I feel comfortable using things like the Rider Waite Smith. As I get deeper into my Marseille study, I love like I'm searching for like the perfect facsimile of the old Marseille decks that were printed in the 18th and 19th centuries. The problem with being a person of color interested in these types of decks is that there is, of course, no diversity. And so I guess as we, it, I guess, more expansive in how we see tarot. A lot of creators are changing that. And so if this was a full deck, because this is all Black music artists and activists, if this was a full deck, this would just be my deck. Like this would this would be like my everyday carry. This would be what I would use. I am just in love with the concept of maintaining a vintage kind of look and style, but with illustrations that um, are people of color. And then I love the idea of the fact that the people represented are notable Black musicians and activists as well. So I just love that concept. And I actually reached out to um, the illustrator a few months ago about whether they would make a full um, deck of 78 cards. And they said no, and I was disappointed. They did say that they were working on like a Native American deck, full that will be a full deck, tarot deck. So we're just gonna have to cry about it in the corner. But in the meantime, I think, having a major arcana deck is really cool, and I can talk a little bit later about how I intend to use it. So here we have the Fool. This is Richard Pryor. Um, enough said. His microphone. I think that's a contraption to smoke a certain plant, but I don't know. I could be wrong. The the magician here. This is Black Herman. So I think what it's turning out to be in this video is it's going to be hard for me to just do a flip through because I think we need to know who uh, who these characters are in case you don't know who these people are. Um, High Priestess La Papesse, of course, um, is Marie Laveau. And if you don't know, I mean, I'm sure we do know, but Marie Laveau was that girl. Was one of the most notable voodoo practitioners in Louisiana. And of course, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a deck in the near future about uh, cards of a deck that sold me on the deck. And I would say this is probably it. When I saw um, this Nina Simone uh, as the Empress, I was like, done, sold. Empress is I guess, my soul card, my birth card. And so, um, highly excited about that one. She definitely encompasses that Empress energy. For the Emperor, there's Howling Wolf. He is a notable blues musician in the early days when blues was just getting national and global notoriety. The Pope or the Hierophant. Look at my notes here. Reverend Johnny Jones. He was a gospel musician and Christian minister. The Lovers. We have here James Brown, Etta James. Oh, let me look at my notes for this one. Irma Thomas. I am not as familiar with Irma Thomas. I wonder if there's an actual story here. If there was some drama, some love triangle stuff going on here. Should be pretty fun to think about. Okay, and here we have Little Richard as a chariot, and I say absolutely. Just his energy, just this effervescence of energy that he has always had, just gives chariot energy of like, let's go, let's do this. Very fun, very fast. Love it. Okay, and of course, this is Eartha Kitt, and so I thought a lot about Eartha Kitt being the choice for the Justice card here, and I think it's so fitting. I really resonate with the life and experiences of Eartha Kitt as being an attractive Black woman of mixed race, um, and in film and television, and just the abuse that she has endured from a lot of the men that she has worked with. And just her talking about her life and her experiences, I think, really warrants her being in the Justice card. A lot of times in modern decks, justice is displayed as like social justice, which is a great interpretation of the card as well. But also, especially when you think about people's lives and experiences, thinking about justice as far as the wrongs and rights that is done unto you and what you do unto others, I think is also very appropriate here, especially when considering Eartha Kitt. And also the fact that she was able to come out on the other side of it all and conquer it all, regardless of what she had endured throughout her life. Hermit is Keelam Philip Cochrane, who is a jazz musician. He is dressed in Egyptian garb because he was a part of Sun Ra's orchestra, which is really interesting because I think Sun Ra also makes an appearance in this deck as well. Now, this is so gross because I'm like, I'm so snobby. I apologize. Um, so this is Malcolm X in three iterations of his life. So you have um, Malcolm X when he was, I believe this is when he was uh, Detroit Red. So basically, when he was running the streets of Harlem, just doing crimes, doing bad things with his friends. And then you have Malcolm X when he was a member of the, oh gosh, what was it? Um, he was a member of the organization of, oh my gosh, the Nation of Islam. Yes, the Nation of Islam. And then you have Malcolm X when he after he renounced or denounced the Nation of Islam. And well, I don't know if he denounced it, but he left the Nation of Islam and named himself, uh, well, he named himself El Haj Malik El Shabazz. But I can't remember if that was before um, he left or during the Nation of Islam. But anyway, these are three aspects of his life along the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's really interesting, and it tells us, just how each stage of our lives leads us to really pivotal moments. It's I don't know. I think it's really cool. Another beauty, another icon that I revere and respect, Tina Turner. May she rest in peace. Of course, she's the strength card. Oh, Tupac. May he also rest in peace. So sad to see so many beloved artists gone before their time. So he is the hanged man here, and I think this is really interesting because I feel like if you've ever listened to Tupac's music, he always oscillated between these two, I guess, consciousnesses. He would talk about things that were really meaningful to the Black community in some songs, and in other songs he would kind of feed into the stereotypical kind of hip hop, I guess, this type of ideology that was demeaning towards the community in many ways as well. And so I think throughout his career, you could see that oscillation. You could see that kind of like um, really trying to figure things out for himself. And he has a history, like his mother was a part of the Black Panthers. Like when he applied himself, he you knew that he could be a force for change in his community, but there was always something uh, that just stopped him short of that, in a lot of ways. Okay, so death. um, This is HR from Bad Brains. If you are a punk girl or if you are a punk uh, fan like myself, you can appreciate this. Bad Brains is was a punk band, I think in the 70s, 80s. Forgive me if I'm like a little off on that. Black musicians, black punk rockers, based in DC, and they really just like were really pivotal force in the punk scene at that time. And people like don't realize how like how integrated black artists were in punk rock, but we were in there. We were in there like swimwear. And every time I go to a show, a punk show, I always and I'm always there like front and center because I feel like that's my space too, and I feel like we have this tendency when it comes to music and genres to racialize and to be like, well, rock is for white people and hip hop is for black people. And that's not so. Black artists are definitely integrated into the rock genre, if not, as you see throughout this deck, have been really integral to the formation of the rock genre. And so I really love that. HR is represented here as Death as ushering in just this kind of new awareness of that concept. So here we have Curtis Mayfield as Temperance, and I just love it. I feel like um, he definitely does give Temperance energy. Just has this. His music is very much like, I wouldn't say calm, but like he just has this presence of like, I'm singing and I'm conscious and I know what I'm singing about. I know what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know. It's like balm for the ails of the community at the time. I think is what I think his music means to me in the black community. So if I have the energy, I will show a picture um, of Screamin' Jay Hawkins, who was a black musician. He is scary to look at. Like I don't know. I have to watch some YouTube videos as well, and maybe if you have the time, just Google him. I can see now. I don't know much about him, but after like Googling him a little bit, I could see how he could be considered the devil. Just he's has this very just scary, but also like intriguing presence as a musician, and I think that works well with this card. For the tower, we have Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley, another of two of the godfathers of rock and roll. So here, this is Alice Coltrane as the star. And if you study Marseille, can you help me out? Because I feel like the star has the wrong French article to it, like the title here. I think it's supposed to be Le Toit. There's several different spellings because when the original Marseilles were created, the star was spelled differently in French than it is today, right? In the modern spelling. So either it was Letoile or Letoille or L apostrophe Toile. So I feel like this might be a printer's error or a typo here. I hate to point that out on this remarkable deck. I did mention it in my Etsy review, so that because I feel like with the fifth printing, they would have caught it by now, right? So I just have a question about whether this is another just version of this of an archaic spelling of the star, um, or if it is indeed incorrect. But regardless, this is such a beautiful card. This reminds me of the mahogany tarot that I have, which is in the Rider Waite style position, where she also has a black woman with an afro as the star, and so I just love it. I just love it. I just hope that this is spelled right. And of course, Billie Holiday as the moon, a woman with so many, there's so many parts of herself that we'll probably never get to know. So many struggles that we have seen and so many struggles that she's had that we'll never see, you know. I just love that she's depicted as the moon here. The sun. So we have Sun Ra. I don't know. Maybe those were his bandmates. um, there instead of two baby children. But this is Sun Ra. He is. Just Google his music. I freaking. I wish I could play it here because I mean, copyright and stuff like that. But I am a total Afrofuturist nerd, and Sun Ra is one of the um, first, artists to introduce Afrofuturism into the American consciousness. Well, I wouldn't say one of the first, but he was one of the most notable around the time. He's a jazz musician, but of course, he infused a lot of different genres, and his aesthetic was definitely like Afrofuturistic. He would harken back to ancient Egypt with his garb and talk about, going to space and like he has a really cool like music film that tells a story about this African alien that comes and tries to take all the black people and start this new world, and it's just so interesting and fascinating. So I really like that he is the sun here. Judgment. I freaking love that Erica Badu and Andre 3000 are depicted here in the Judgment card. To me, they represent more so Andre 3000 than Erica Badu. Erica Badu, I love her, but her brand is someone who has ascended to or is seeking transcendence to a higher level of consciousness. Andre 3000, I think, is someone who actually has or is on that track of reaching this higher vibrational. He just gives off that energy of like of wisdom, of living a life and learning from it, and then reaching that point of transcendence eventually. And so I just love that they're both here, and also they dated, and they had a baby. So oh, and of course, again, going back to that theme of, how integral African American artists were in the creation of the music genres that we love today. Here is Rosetta Tharpe as the world. I would say she's like the godmother of rock and roll. She's so awesome, and I'm just so glad. Look, listen, I I just love that I get to have a deck filled with people that I think are pretty awesome, and that they're black and they're beautiful and they're strange and they're wonderful and they're talented and they're brilliant. And I feel like, when it comes to using a major uh, Arcana deck, a lot of people don't like it. I feel like it's fine. I feel like you can just use this with like any other tarot deck. I think it's perfect for beginners. I Some people even use it as an oracle deck, which I think is great. Actually, I started playing around with splitting my decks, especially the Marseille ones, so that I'm using my major arcana as like the grounder, as like, okay, so what is this reading, like what is the focus of the reading, and then I will pull from my minor arcana to give me specifics. And I think you can do that with this deck. So far, what I've been doing is I've been just pulling a card. I've been doing single card draws with this because I still have to wrap my head around the fact that these are major cards, and that if I use them too often, then everything starts to feel like everything's major, and that's not the case. So while I acclimate myself to using just major arcana, I think a single card draw is like where it's at right now for me. I see myself using this not daily, but I feel like maybe once, like every full moon cycle, or something like that, to where it's like more, it's frequent, but it's consistent, but it's not as frequent as it needs to be. I also see myself just carrying these in my bag. Like, I just love the idea that I have them, and I think that if I'm called to do a reading for someone, that these are really good to do, like um, quick pulls, short spreads with for others as well. And I'm very glad to have this in my collection. And so, with that said, I'm going to leave it here. Um, Let me know what you think uh, about this deck. Um, about the artists that are depicted in this deck. Was there anyone that you thought might have been better choices um, for this deck? And yeah, just let me know your general thoughts, what you think. If you wouldn't be so kind, if you like this video, if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. And if you just happen to find my video, this is a new channel, so if you just come across it and decided to watch, I thank you, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And I'm just gonna go blow my nose now, but but I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.